two, 1, 2. He could be a pet or a life. When we come together, because you, we are the heart of the party. Well, it sounds sweet. It could be a lime or a fet. We ready to sweat. Here's our shot you want, then realize.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
This is CBC, your cropover and summer vibe destination. This year, we're living cropover across every platform: TV, radio, digital, culture, music, sport, entertainment, like never before. On TV8,
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning, Barbados. A different day, but the same kind of start. Rain, and I mean rain in Warrens. I absolutely love it. So much so that they somehow clued into my kind of personality, brought me outside in the rain, and I absolutely love it. Actually, I ran into Pamela, who is one of those early morning walkers. Pamela, good morning.
Good morning.
Will you bring the microphone a little bit closer? How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank
Is
you.
walking the thing you do every morning here in Warrens?
Most mornings, yes. I do vary my route, but most mornings I do walk around this area.
And the rain caused you pause today, right?
You know, rain or shine, I'm out there.
but you stood under the awnings here sheltering from the
Because
rain.
it was raining very heavily, okay? So I still have quite a ways to go, so I didn't want to be totally drenched.
Yeah, but you know, people tend to think, exercise this time of the morning, I'm not able to get up and get going. What do you say?
It does take a lot out of me, but I mean, I try, force myself. I have to. Yes.
You have to, but you do it for a reason, or you just fun?
Just generally keep fit.
Well, you're doing well.
Yes.
Good to meet you, Pamela. Thank you so much. And when you
Thank
get
you,
home, turn on your TV and watch us on Mornin Barbados.
Will do.
Good
Thank
girl.
you and all the best.
You too. Have a terrific Tuesday, all right?
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. It's Tuesday, the 16th of June, and yes, it's raining in Warrens. I know a number of you in other parts of the island are a little bit jealous this morning, and I understand why, but I think I'm in the perfect spot for what we're thankful for, the blessing from God through rain. The rain nourishes the earth, it nourishes our plants, it causes things to grow, and growth is what we're talking about as we share with you every single weekday morning. By the way, I'm Pearson Boyne. Didn't tell you my name, but good morning to all of you. Thank you for joining us also on our streams on Facebook and YouTube. We're really, really happy that you're here. Tell others about us and let them come along to share in what we do as well. And of course, always, if you know of something to talk about, or you know of someone who has a story to talk about, so tell us about it. We'll be happy to share it with the rest of the world. And you can tell us by sending us an email. The email address is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And we thank you for partnering with us in that today. It being Tuesday, we'll have our typical conversations on CARICOM today. We've just come back, Ambassador, that is, from some very high-level meetings. We want to get a report from him as to what was the outcome, what happened, where were you, and who was there at that meeting with you. Safeguarding our future and our heritage is the theme for Heritage Month. And so we take a look at some of the activities that are planned for this month of June and encourage all of you to come out and be a part of it to reconnect once again with your heritage. Yesterday was World Elder Abuse Day, so today we want to take a look at that and the significance of that day and what we as a people are required to do so that we reduce those incidences of elder abuse. And so we'll sit with the Barbados Alzheimer's Association to take a look at that. When Duty Calls Me. When Duty Calls Me is a title, but When Duty Calls Who? And When Duty Calls Who to Do What? The woman who has written that book will join us. She'll share with us her transforming journey through life, and we get some sense of understanding about why she's written the book and what we can learn from her writings as well. Also today, we'll be taking a look at your world, your space within the whole AI sphere. There's so many things that are popping up looking the same. How do you stand out? There's a lady who has a series of activities coming up very, very soon to share with you how you can stand out. We'll be taking a look at that with her in just a little bit as well. And the ambassadors who are vying for the Spirit of the Lion show, that title, they are with us from the St. George Secondary School. We'll share with you even more of what they've experienced thus far and why you should show up at the show on Saturday. So there's a lot to look forward to. I'll take a break here. I'll get back inside out of the rain and we'll get started in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's Crop Over Live, Crop Over Sweet Spot, Festival Vibes, the raw energy straight from the heart of the action. On radio, we've got every vibe covered. 98.1 The One brings the heat. The Soca Squad, Soca Avenue. It's SATA, Signal Fridays, pure energy, pure vibes. Q100.7 FM honors the legacy. Crop Over Legends, Into Festival, the stories that built this festival. Vibe 94.7 FM brings it home. Crop Over Diaries, Calypso Legacy, Culture Unfiltered. And CBC News is on the ground for every story, update, and highlight. Everything streams live on our socials and YouTube. Wherever you are, you're connected. Plus, spot, connect, and win. One loyal CBC listener or viewer drives away in a Suzuki Hybrid. This isn't just a season. This is CBC. This is the Crop Over and Summer Vibe.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Tuesday mornings always mean conversations on CARICOM, and so we'll have another conversations on CARICOM today with Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency David Comishong, who's back from some very high-level meetings. Ambassador, good morning to you.
Morning, Pearson.
I,
Before we get into the discussion, I have a question for you.
Sure.
What famous Barbadian novel begins with the phrase, rain, rain, rain?
She's already testing me now. I think I just failed the test. What famous Barbadian novel begins with that?
In the Castle of My
I
Skin.
was thinking the same thing, but I could not place it. Yeah,
That's a
In
good-
the Castle of My Skin.
Rain, rain, rain.
Wow.
It's George Lamming's. It begins with George Lamming's 9th birthday. Well, the little boy in the novel, his
Yes.
9th birthday. And the village, Crichton Village, which is really Carrington Village, is being deluged by rain. So those are the first 3 words of the book. Rain, rain, rain.
Wow. I didn't know I had that in common with that great author indeed. But welcome back.
Thank
I know
you.
you've had 3 days, really, of big high-level meetings. Where was it? Where were those
Yes.
meetings held?
Well, we traveled to Guyana, principally for the meeting of the Council for Trade and Economic Development, and that delegation was headed by Minister Christopher Sinclair. And that meeting started last week, Thursday, in Georgetown, Guyana, an in-person meeting. But then on the Friday, Prime Minister Motley, who is the chair of the Prime Ministerial Subcommittee on Reparations, she held a virtual meeting on reparations. And so I participated in that meeting from the headquarters of the CARICOM Secretariat in Georgetown. And very important meeting. We covered some very important ground. And then I made my way back to Barbados Friday night to then attend a meeting on Saturday morning of the CARICOM Reparations Commission and the Reparations Commissions of the African Union, because we are pursuing a partnership between the African Union and CARICOM on reparations. So that was the first meeting to bring together our CARICOM Reparations Commission and the 2 commissions that Africa has established.
And that's significant, I think, for CARICOM because, you know, together we're fighting with Africa. in getting the world's attention, and so getting the leaders of the world also to live up to what really has been an atrocity and their responsibility to sort that out as well.
Oh yes, oh yes. I mean, and we recognize this early. We have every confidence in our case that is well rooted in morality, in law, in the facts, the historical facts. But we are a relatively small region. But when we join forces with Africa, who have an equally compelling case for reparations, then we bring this massive continent, 55 countries, and we bring with Africa that leverage of a continent with all kinds of mineral resources that they want, that they want to engage with. So when we add the African voice to the Caribbean voice, it is so much more powerful. And we saw that when Ghana took that resolution to the UN General Assembly in March, that resolution declaring slavery, the enslavement of African people, the gravest crime against humanity. We saw how that resolution was able to garner majority support from right across the international community.
A lot of people tend to conflate the argument by interjecting this, but the Africans were the ones who sold other Africans into slavery. And so the whole conversation gets a little bit distorted from that particular conversation. Was that a part of the discussion?
That's a whole, we would need a whole program to deal with that. The reality is that most of those African collaborators really felt that they did not have a choice because they were staring down the barrel of a gun. Either you cooperate or you will become a victim. So there are many aspects of it. Some of them that started to cooperate when they recognized what they were really doing, and they tried to pull out, and then the European powers refused to allow them to pull out. But even the ones that you say, okay, maybe they cooperated and maybe they gained something from it, eventually the same European powers turned against them, conquered them, and made them protectorates and colonies. So really and truly, the system was conceptualized in Europe, it was organized in Europe, it was financed in Europe, and it was all to the benefit of Europe.
When we say the African Union, just put that into context for people who are viewing, because sometimes they just think it's perhaps one organization, but it's a combination of organizations.
Well, the African Union is really like the CARICOM of Africa. So it brings together, just like how we have brought together under one umbrella all of the Caribbean, most of the Caribbean states. Similarly, the African Union has done likewise. But there are regional groupings within the broader African Union. So you have the Economic Union of West African States, you have the SADC, you have the Southern, so you have different regional agglomerations, but they're all under the overarching umbrella of the continent-wide African Union, which has its headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, just as we have our headquarters in Georgetown, Guyana. And actually, there's a proposal that the African Union should establish an office in Georgetown, Guyana, and we, in turn, should establish an office in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
And I'm glad you said it the way you said it, because I wanted people to get the notion of the weight of the African Union. It is not light and flighty. It's actually quite massive.
In fact, between the countries of the African Union and the countries of CARICOM, we control something like 68 votes in the United Nations. We are a sizable part of the membership of the United Nations. So once we move as a bloc, then we just have to add a few others from Latin America and Asia and wherever else, to pass resolutions and to be very effective at the United Nations.
Was the meeting convened to just to get an update as to where we are, or was it convened to not just get an update as to where we are, but what next?
The reparations meeting was very important. Yes, what next? In fact, I would tell you that there's going to be a very, very busy reparations agenda between now and the end of the year. So, for example, tomorrow, beginning tomorrow in Accra, Ghana, is a very important conference that the Ghanaians have called, and several people from CARICOM will be going, including Prime Minister Motley, to look at the follow-up to the UN resolution. So how we are coming together to make plans. How do we now follow up on that resolution and, take it to its logical conclusion? But in addition to that, we discuss very importantly, you would have heard a lot about the CARICOM 10-point plan.
Yes.
Well, which is the major CARICOM reparations plan. So we have just revised it. It is now the CARICOM 10-point plan for reparatory justice, a manifesto for the coming enlightenment. And so we put the finishing touches on it at that meeting on Friday, and we are proposing to print about 1,000 copies to take to Ghana so that the world, begins to get a sense of this new updated manifesto. And we say for the coming enlightenment, because we are very clear. We said the 21st century must be the century of reparative justice, about enlightenment. It's not about vindictiveness. It is about taking our relations to a higher and more just and noble level. And so, and we also looked at events that are coming up. In September, we discussed the 25th anniversary of the famous Durban Conference and the Durban Declaration and Program of Action. And we are making preparations how we commemorate this important 25th anniversary at the UN. Jamaica is about to file its petition to King Charles III and the Privy Council on the issue of slavery being a crime. That is going to happen in September. We will be supporting them. Our High Commissioners in the UK will be supporting them. The CARICOM Reparations Commission is going to the UK in September. They will also be supporting that Jamaica effort. Barbados, later in September, we will be hosting the 3rd Regional Conference on Reparations. So the Caribbean will be coming to Barbados to discuss reparations. We also are preparing for the Commonwealth Heads of Government Conference, which will be held in Antigua in November. And reparations is going to very much be a part of that. In fact, I was engaged to help draft some texts for the communique that will come out of that conference on reparations. We are going to be holding a CARICOM village in Antigua as a side event to the Heads of Government Conference. So the agenda for reparations is really, really packed, and everything is kind of falling into place. The partnership with Africa. As I said, on the Saturday, I came back home to Barbados, and that was my first engagement on the Saturday, a marathon meeting where we introduced ourselves to each other. And incidentally, I was selected by the African Union to sit on their reparations commission, the legal commission. In fact, I'm the only person from outside of the continent who sits on that commission. So I sat in on that meeting, both from the CARICOM side, but also as a member of the African side. But yes, so the partnership is developing nicely. And we are going forward. We are going forward with reparations in a very, very powerful and effective way.
What a report indeed. And so we'll take a break right here. When we come back in our conversations on CARICOM, what about trade within the region? We'll take a look at that and more. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Cropover lives on TV8. It's where the season comes alive. From the road to the stage, we've got it covered. The vibes, the music, the culture, all in one place. TV8. We are Cropover Live.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affairs segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
In our conversations on CARICOM today, we're continuing our discussions with Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency David Commichon, looking at a number of regional actions and action points that have been taken over the last few days, part of which were centered on reparations. And so, Ambassador, let's look at that within the context of trade within the region, because I do know that you were a part of that meeting as well that looked at that.
Yes, that was the meeting of CARICOM's Council for Trade and Economic Development. That's where typically you bring together the ministers with responsibility for trade. And I brought with me, I always say, the CARICOM Bible, the revised Treaty of Chagaramas. And really and truly, the trade regime is really the heart of CARICOM. That's where we began.
Yes.
We began in 1968 with CARIFTA, the Caribbean Free Trade Association. And we began with the simple idea that as newly independent countries, we were going to remove any obstacles to trade among ourselves. So any taxes, any restrictions, once you are a producer of Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, you could trade free, free of any taxation, any imposition. So we set up this free trade area. And then later on, we said, and the whole idea was to give our producers a wider market. So the Barbadian manufacturer, your market is not just the 280,000 people in Barbados. No, your market is all the rest of the population. But we said, that is not enough. We also have to protect these producers from outside competition, not in every case, but especially in cases where we are building our own capacity. We have the capacity, let's give them some protection. So we set up a common external tariff, And so so we now have that common market, the free trade areas protected by the common external tariff. And so that's the heart and soul of CARICOM. We have built other things upon that, but that is the foundation. And I like how you introduce it, because when you look at reparations and you look at the reparations idea, there's a connection with trade.
Yes.
Because if you go back to our history, we were all colonies. And the colonial power, in our case, England, they set out to ensure that we did not develop industry beyond sugar. So yes, we developed sugar, but beyond that, nope. We were supposed to be a market for them. So they actually put policies in place to actually prevent the colonies from developing manufacturing industries and so forth. And to even make it worse, then within the colony itself, the authorities, the white planter authorities, put policies in place to prohibit black people from getting involved in business and production. So coming out of that colonial history, you can see why it was so necessary to have a CARIFTA, to have a common market, to encourage our producers. So when we go to quoted, a lot of the work is done with the common external tariff.
Right.
So a lot of the work is, some countries come with requests for suspension of the common external tariff. So clearly, where you have a lot of local Caribbean production capacity, you cannot suspend it.
That's right.
But in situations where you might not have that Caribbean capacity, and sometimes you want to, we want to ease the consumer. So, for example, countries came with a request for suspension of the common external tariff on fully electric vehicles. Of course, we don't produce that in the region. Air conditioner units and parts. And then some countries actually came for requesting suspension on some basic food items, right across the Caribbean, cost of living, inflation. So food items that we don't really produce at a great capacity, give us the permission to suspend the import duties on those, so it makes the price lesser for our people. And then some of the other issues we look at, trying to work out what is the correct common external tariff to apply, for example, to paints and varnishes. How can we get it right so that we protect our producers, but at the same time don't put too onerous taxes on imports coming in. And then we looked at different aspects of production in the region. For example, sugar. We have something called the Sugar Monitoring Mechanism, where we are looking at how are we doing. Like Belize, for example, has put a lot of investment into sugar.
That's right.
And they're saying, look, we are so improving our production capacity that we need more protection from outside exporters of sugar into the Caribbean. So then you have to look at the studies and Belize, are you really increasing this capacity? So can you supply us? We had a similar conversation about glass bottles. There's a glass bottle manufacturing capacity in Trinidad, and they were trying to make the case, look, we can produce 75% of the regional market. We need more protection. So you have issues like that where we come together as a community to look at how can we get our trade policy right, how can we protect who need to be protected, but at the same time, how can we not disadvantage our consumers? So stuff like that, and issues pertaining to customs, the customs systems that we have in place, issues pertaining to the lesser developed countries, because one of the regimes in CARICOM is we're all operating this single market and single economy, but we know that some countries will benefit more from the single market and economy, some countries will benefit less. So we know that the countries that have a lesser manufacturing capacity may be disadvantaged. So we have a regime that says we need to help those industries in those countries. So the CARICOM Development Fund was actually set up. So we looked at that. What is the CARICOM Development Fund doing to help industries in the lesser developed countries? We looked at digital trade policy. We looked at an effort that we are making now to set up a CARICOM Export-Import Bank. And actually, we are getting assistance from the African Export-Import Bank. So all of those trade and goods related matters, very technical, not quote unquote sexy. So reparations would be more sexy.
Yes.
A lot of them it's the trade officials dealing with very technical matters of just trying to get our trade policy right. But it is very important because at the end of the day, it is really the heart of what this whole integration movement is about. It's really about how do we come together to do sensible and rational things to build our productive capacity and to increase intra-CARICOM trade among ourselves.
In those discussions, do we see any increase or improvement in the capacity of the islands, respective islands, to be able to increase their level of production so that they are a lot more self-sufficient?
Yes. So, for example, Dominica, to give an example, Dominica invested a lot in the manufacture of soap. And in fact, one of the items on the agenda was where Dominica brought a complaint that we have invested in manufacturing soap. We have the capacity to produce soap for at least 75% of the regional demand. And some countries had breached the common external tariff by reducing it and allowing soap imports in breach of the regime. And so that comes to quoted as well, where countries come with a complaint. These countries are not complying. And we are asking quoted to take action against them. So, for example, soap, Jamaica invested a lot in developing their capacity to produce condensed milk. And so, and as I spoke about Belize, Belize is doing something similar in sugar, in sugar manufacturing. So yes, those are the success stories that we really celebrate. When a country can come to quoted and say, look, we have made the investment, we have made the effort, we have increased capacity to such an extent now that you need to give us additional tariff support through the common external tariff, because we have invested in capacity to be able to produce these particular goods for our Caribbean community. So those are the kind of stories that we really love to hear. But I would tell you, the member states tend to be very rigorous.
Yes.
Because you just can't come and say it.
Yes.
You actually have to prove it. And sometimes if there is some doubt, CARICOM, we would set up a special committee or working group to go and investigate and to see whether this claim is actually valid. But once you prove that it is valid, then you will get the protection that your industry deserves.
What I absolutely love about these conversations on CARICOM, we've rent the veil into see what happens within the engine of CARICOM. And so as it works on our behalf. And so these conversations on CARICOM enlighten, they educate, and they inspire. And I hope that as we continue week after week sharing these conversations with you, that you have a greater, deeper understanding and appreciation for the work of our technocrats within CARICOM who work in our benefit. And so, Ambassador, I want to thank you as always for sharing those conversations with us.
Thank you, Pearson.
You're welcome. That concludes today's Conversations on CARICOM. From rainy Warrens in St. Michael, Morning Barbados takes a break, and we're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
We could put on a fantastic show. All the best artists in the world, if the show ain't got nobody in it, show ain't saying nothing. So in the grand scheme of things, any party, any fete, any production, the people is who really make the thing, right? So that was one of those, it's almost like an ode to the people. Because one is who's met this thing, you know.
Two, get ready. 1, 2, 1, 2. It could be a pet or a line. When we come together, because you, we are the heart of the party. When the song swing, it could be a lime or a fat. We ready to sweat. Here's our shot you want, then real Andy.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
27 to 7 now as we continue live from the showroom of Inchcape Barbados in rainy Warrens. I hope it's raining in your neck of the woods as well. And if it isn't, come to Warrens and enjoy the rain. Kyla Branch, who is the executive member of the Barbados Alzheimer's Association, joins us in the rain as well. Kyla, good morning.
A lovely morning to you, Pearson, and of
you.
course to all of Barbados.
I know you feel the same way about the weather conditions as I do.
I absolutely do. I love the rain. I love the rain.
Bad, as we say in Barbados. And so we met today because we want to look at World Elder Abuse Day, which was yesterday generally globally.
Yes.
Why is there that day, and what is that day designed to do?
So, of course, generally when I'm here, we're discussing all things Alzheimer's, all things dementia. My apologies for my voice. But it's very important, especially as communities and societies age, that we do recognize that there are things that we, of course, are going to laud, and there are some things that, of course, would be in need of improvement. And world elder abuse is a global issue. And as you quite rightly said, yesterday marked World Elder Abuse Day, Awareness Day. And what we're doing generally under the UN theme is not just looking at what abuse is, but looking at ways that we must prevent abuse. And of course, in preventing abuse, the only way you can prevent anything is to be aware of it.
Yes.
So we must be educated about it. If I don't know that this is a green plant, then I can look all around, and of course, I would never see the green plant because I don't know what I'm looking for. And so ultimately, we're trying to look at a multi-sectorial approach in the prevention of elder abuse, because it is something that will affect us, and it is affecting us. And I think when persons think about abuse, sometimes they think about physical abuse, they think of sexual abuse, they think of financial abuse. But we have to really identify how persons are being abused and what we can do about it. And of course, we can only do this as a concerted effort. The single person is not going to be able to do it. We have to work hand in hand. Government must work together, private entity, obviously the legal and the financial community must also work together. And we must include, of course, civil society, social agency as well. And sometimes persons also, I give my little plug, but the media must also be included because it helps us. And this is why, of course, I'm very thankful to be here, because it assists all of us to spread word to ensure that we're working hand in hand.
In ignorance, we sometimes aren't aware of the actions we take or not take, and how in some sense that can be a sense of abuse as well of our elderly.
Yes.
We see elderly people generally as, you stay home, get out of my way, because you are in my way when you don't do as I do. And not realizing sometimes that in saying or feeling that way, just feeling that way, is a sense of abuse.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
let's break it down for just a little while and look at our society honestly. Let's really rent that veil as well to look at what we do and what we don't do as abuse. What do you see?
Absolutely. And so, you're quite right, Pearson. And I'm a firm believer. At the end of the day, we have to credit to our past.
Yeah.
I say this multiple times. I cannot be here if it weren't for persons who were, leading the way before me. So, for example, Pamelia Burton, who's the founder of the Alzheimer's Association, on her shoulders we all stand. And similarly, it's so interesting that Ambassador Comachong would have been here earlier, because he's always highlighting the tribute to the past. And there's some things at the end of the day, had it not been for those who have been before us, we of course cannot stand. And so we have to ensure that the intergenerational link is maintained. And so that youth inclusion as well is very important. But as you rightly said, there's sometimes persons will think, okay, as an older person, I will put you here and you stay there, I will make all of the decisions and I will determine what it is that you do. So for example, even something very simple as you have a person who has a capacity to do things and a capacity to ensure that their daily activities are met, but yet, because they're older, you determine based either on their physical condition or mental state at the particular point in time, you determine some family members, I will take control of your finances. I will stop you from driving, even though the physician has cleared you to do so. And I will restrict the things that you can do. And that, of course, is a part of emotional abuse. Yeah. And these are things that persons may not necessarily think of. They think of, okay, physical abuse, as in, I'm going to be slapping, hitting some person, or physical abuse can also be restraining a person. So, for example, you have persons who may be institutionalized, and for whatever reason, because of course there are some conditions in which you have to restrain a person. For example, if they're having IVs and so on and constantly removing them, obviously it's a harm to themselves. However, if you have, there are some instances where persons are restrained and it may not necessarily be a need to do so. Over-medicating is also a form of physical abuse that we may not think about. And so aside from the physical abuse, of course, I mentioned the financial abuse. And of course, we have to think as well, because, people are getting very savvy, and we see a lot in the news media where persons have the digital cybersecurity abuses being made. And of course, we must talk about all of these things. And the community that we're discussing, the elder community, is a vulnerable community, especially when it comes to technology for some persons. And also, sometimes the perpetrator may think, okay, this is an older person, they've retired, they have all of these assets, and, sometimes they befriend persons with a view to acquiring something in the future.
Yeah.
And so all of these things we must talk about, and I don't think we talk about it enough. Yes.
But even in talking about it, we need to be a lot more aware of what are our consequences when we don't. We tend to think as people age, they're slow, they get slower in thinking, in speaking, in moving, and so therefore we become abusive because you're not moving at my pace. And we're not even aware sometimes as to the language we use with our elderly. And we think we're having conversation, but our own emotions, we're not managing ourselves.
Yes.
So when you think you're doing harm to the other person, you're also doing harm to self.
Absolutely.
And you must therefore take some time to reflect on who you are.
Absolutely.
Who you are, and give credit to those who've gone before us. You always do.
Absolutely.
And say, thank you, Granny, thank you, Mummy, thank you, Auntie, because you, had it not been for you, I could not have been who I am now.
Absolutely.
And so once we build that capacity for love yet again, I think the abuse will diminish. It is not going to go away because people look for opportunities wherever they can. And so what can society do generally? Or do we need legislation?
Well, of course.
What do you say?
So, there's so much that we can touch on. And I know, of course, even today, I have such limited time.
You don't even start with it.
Because, we come here and we get into our, we have a series. So there's so many things that we can touch upon. And, let me first start by saying that, of course, World Elder Abuse Awareness was yesterday, but we actually have a panel discussion which occurs on Saturday, where we will be bringing, this Saturday, yes, the 20th of June, and we'll be bringing actually a number of persons from the legal community. We have Dr. Jacqueline Wilshire, who of course is one of the legislative drafters with respect to the new legislation that we recently have. And of course, we have the medical community, gerontologist Dr. Ramsey will be there because we need to have the input from the healthcare perspective, not only in terms of what the physician is doing, but even in terms of the emergency medical technicians and what they are to do if they encounter an emergency and realize, okay, well, this person looks as though there may be some sort of neglect, or this person may look as though there may be, malnutrition, or the person has indicated to me that something is happening, and so, of course, we must investigate. All of these things we, fall under the medical purview. Right. But of course, we also must bring in the finance area. And so to do so, we have representative from CIBC. She's the manager of the information and technology security department. And she, of course, is going to be there to discuss cyber fraud and social and security for elders funds. Of course, we have to bring in government because ultimately our society must work both private and public. And of course, we know we have the most recent amalgamation with respect to our social services with the Social Employment Agency. Now, I know people talk about the social, they hear C or they hear Social Employment Agency, but there are a lot of Barbadians who really do not know, okay, well, who do I call should something happen? Am I going to be discussing this with the Welfare Department, the National Assistance Board? Who am I calling with respect to this? And so we have, of course, Colleen Walcott, who, of course, is interim executive director, who will be there as well to shed light as to what are we really talking about with respect to this amalgamation and how is it going to serve Barbadians in this aspect.
This is this Saturday.
This is this Saturday,
what
the
time
20th. It's at 4 p.m. And we decided to go with and I shouldn't even say we decided. To be honest, I don't know if persons can recall, but earlier this year, we had a very glaring and unfortunate viral video which went out where an elderly man was along the area of Horse Hill, St. Joseph, and he was accosted and assaulted by a younger person. And so therefore, we're using St. Joseph because, of course, the MP for St. Joseph, Ryan Brathwaite, he actually has reached out in terms of engaging his community and engaging the entire Barbadian community because this is something that affects all of us. And so therefore it's being held at the lovely Hillcrest Community Center in Bathsheba, St. Joseph.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock on Saturday. So persons can come out, obviously, to ensure that they have this information, ask as many questions as they would like. Because we also, in addition to all of the prongs that I mentioned, we also do have youth participation and the police involvement as well. Because everyone needs to work hand in hand to ensure that we have the society that we would want to maintain.
A kinder, more caring society.
Absolutely.
And recognizing the fact that our elders are also a component of that society who
Yes.
need our attention,
And
our
support.
assistance,
Yes.
and support indeed. And so it's Saturday, this coming Saturday, at the Hillcrest Center in St. Joseph, beginning at 4 in the afternoon. It's for everyone.
Yes.
It's not just for the Josephines alone, it's for everyone
It is for
in Barbados
everyone,
indeed. And so
absolutely.
if you might think you're as young and sturdy now, think of 5-10 years from now. You will not be as young or as sturdy. And so you will then move into the category of being called dads and pops and unk and all of those kinds of things. Those terms that sometimes cause you pause, but you'll be seen as elderly. And so people want to take opportunity from you as well. And so we want you to come together at this particular meeting on Saturday at 4. Let's look as a society how we can begin to become a lot more enlightened about the things that are happening around us to our elderly, things done by us to our elderly, and how we together can bridge that gap as a community.
Absolutely.
Cal, I want to thank you so much. I'm
Thank
out of time.
you.
I'm so sorry.
I know, I was just about to say something.
Yeah,
but that's no problem.
that's
I
all right.
appreciate.
Kyla Branch, executive member of the Barbados Alzheimer's Association, reminding us as to the fact that we need to be a whole lot more aware of how we act and react to our elders and how abusive we are becoming as a society and what can we do. And that meeting on Saturday is absolutely just a first step, perhaps, in us being able to, as a community, change our course. It's at 4 o'clock, Hillcrest, St. Joseph. Morning Barbados takes a break here from the showroom at Inchcape Barbados. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
This is CBC, your crop over and summer vibe destination. This year, we're living crop over across every platform: TV, radio, digital, culture, music, sport, entertainment, like never before. On TV8, it's Crop Over Live, Crop Over Sweet Spot, festival vibes, the raw energy, straight from the heart of the action. On radio, we've got every vibe covered. 98.1 The One brings the heat. The Soca Squad, Soca Avenue. It's SATA, Signal Fridays, pure energy, pure vibes. Q100.7 FM honors the legacy. Crop Over Legends, in the festival. The stories that built this festival. Vibe 94.7 FM brings it home. Crop Over Diaries, Calypso Legacy, Culture Unfiltered. And CBC News is on the ground for every story, update, and highlight. Everything streams live on our socials and YouTube. Wherever you are, you're connected. Plus, spot, connect, and win. One loyal CBC listener or viewer drives away in a Suzuki Hybrid. This isn't just a season. This is CBC. This is the Crop Over and Summer Vibe.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
This is the month of June, and always in the month of June in Barbados, we celebrate heritage. We take a time to refocus self on safeguarding on heritage by first understanding what that heritage is. And I'm happy always to be joined by Dr. Sharon Johnson, who is the Heritage Month Coordinator in the Office of Pan-African Affairs and Heritage. And she's brought along one of those who's now known as a Heritage Steward. I love how the next generation is being titled indeed a Colea Bellamy. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
What's happening this month, Sharon?
Oh, well, you know, this month is all things heritage. we started out with a wonderful launch on May 30th, and we were able to launch our jingle, honor a number of persons who've contributed to development of heritage over the years, and things have been going really well. A fantastic church service at James Street Methodist Church, and on. We've had open days with the National Trust. So this weekend now is where we really up the ante and have some really exciting
Some
events.
real big events are coming up this weekend. This weekend. So, folks, listen very carefully because we really want you to show up to all of these. Now, I know before we get to this weekend, Thursday, we're having something very special.
Yes, on Thursday we will have the lunchtime lecture given by Dr. Frederick Allen. And this is part of our sort of sensitization to the public about the story of sugar and rum. We will soon be going after another nomination at UNESCO, and this is part of building, sensitizing the public, getting support for it, because we have a number. Barbados is rum, you know, one of the first rums, and we've the only country that had a sugar revolution. So this is part of and parcel of our education.
And we have the only windmill still.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. Yes. So Dr. Frederick Allen, his title is The Barbados Rum and Molasses Industry After the American War of Independence, the Impact and the Response.
Right. So that's a big story. This is a double lecture.
Yes.
Where is it?
St. Mary Church, between 12 to 1.
Right, so if you look at your screen, everybody, look at your screen. Everyone is invited to this public lecture at St. Mary's Church in Bridgetown from noon till 1 o'clock. Just 1 hour. And it's going to be quite enlightening as Barbados goes towards having another designation from UNESCO on rum and sugar. All right, that's Thursday.
That's Thursday.
But then this Saturday and Sunday come alive. Packed with stuff.
Yes. I can read off some of them for you. Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. They will host a dinner and with Florence Dish.
That's on Saturday,
yes. At Golden Grove.
Correct.
Yes.
And that begins at 6, but you need to get there early, but you have to get your tickets.
Yes, you have to get your tickets, so the persons can contact BTMI to get the tickets.
Right.
And if you want to know who she was a Barbadian social worker and politician born at Golden Grove Plantation.
Right.
And she also was elected to the West Indies Federation.
She was a phenomenal woman, Florence Dish. And so at Golden Grove Plantation, it's very limited. You have a chance to enjoy the music of the period, the food of the time, see in the dress, all of that in a very intimate space as well, where she was born. You are going to be there in Golden Grove Plantation to find out a whole lot more about this outstanding Barbadian woman, Florence Dish. That's on Saturday. Also on Saturday,
we haven't forgotten the children. And the National Library Service, they've stepped in and they'll be hosting activity for children and their parents and guardians. Persons will have to register at the National Library Service's main office on Fairchild Street. That promises to be very exciting. It's called Stories in the Streets. And there will be a bit of reenactments and interactive play for the kids. So we're encouraging persons. Every Saturday morning, there are groups of children at the library for the reading sessions. Parents and guardians to bring their children along. It promises to be exciting.
This Saturday for sure.
Yes,
this is just another installation of that. Colia, what's your role in that? Are you playing a role in that one?
Not necessarily in that one, but overall I contribute to the Heritage Program, working with Dr. Johnson, specifically with other volunteers, other heritage stores. We gather information, work on social media, get the communications out. And specifically like a lot of the youth programs, highlighting one that's coming up next week with regards to AI and the involvement in AI preserving heritage. So there's a lot of movement around with the heritage stores depending on your interests and what you can contribute to the team. So I'm just happy to be a part of it, and I encourage anybody else to want to volunteer and be a part of the program as well.
People tend to think when we talk heritage is for the older people, but you're one of the younger people. What excites you about study of heritage and being involved?
Just being a part of understanding the culture. This program has opened up a lot of opportunities to be in weekly meetings and programs with historians and professionals alike. And you just had a better understanding of how you can contribute to your country and also understand where you come from and paint a better picture in how you can contribute to moving forward. So those are my immediate interests, but as I gain more understanding in the Heritage Program, like so many things are opportunities that you can grab and jump towards.
Yeah, and that's an advice for other young people as well. So Saturday we have the dinner with Florence Dish. We have the library experience at the National Library Service in the Bridgetown as well. But Sunday, I know last year we anyway, let's talk about Sunday.
Yes, you missed last
Yes,
last year.
I did, so don't remind me.
Yes. So on Sunday, that's when we have the popular antiques market.
Yes, please.
Yes. So it would be
Golden Square Freedom Park.
It is also Father's Day, and it's the perfect opportunity to bring fathers out, reminisce, talk about objects, bring the family. It's a chance to interact, a generational whole experience where you can see objects that they would have used in the households, in the gardens, you know, and just discuss and see also how you can transfer this knowledge to younger generation. There will be an opportunity for persons to engage with auctioneers and antiques dealers about the care of objects, how to take care of them. We will have some demonstrations of caning as well, and also some painting going on. So it promises to be a very exciting day as usual, from 11 to 5.
Right, half a day practically,
Yes.
11 to 5. And
Yes.
so those conversations are going to be rich and very, very real. It's a market space. It's all over the space.
Yes, yes.
And they're going to be artifacts, we tend to
Artifacts,
call them
yes,
now.
yes.
But they're still quite practical for a lot of people.
Oh,
the
yes.
juking board, Kolia has no idea what a juking board is. The story of the juking board, the story
Yes.
of the pole.
Exactly, yes,
As
the
well.
pole, yes, the pole.
All of that will be told.
Yes.
And the story of just how you kept things fresh. You had no refrigeration. But how did you keep things fresh with your larder?
Yes.
All of those kinds of things, I'm sure the antique space will be able to
Yes,
show
that's right.
us.
That's right.
But you can have valuations done on some of those items if you do.
Yes.
So should I walk with my particular item?
You can walk with the item. We have people there who will tell you how to take care of it. You might have had, I ask everyone, you know, do you have anything from your grandparents that you have at home still? And where is it? What condition is it in? And then people reminisce, you know, catch themselves. You know, some they've got an old Morris chair, but is in the garage, but we put it outside. Clean it up. It has value. It is part of your heritage.
There's a story in it.
Yes.
So even it looks old to you, there's a story,
There's a story in it,
lived
yes.
story in that.
Yeah.
And so that's the story you want to have come out, so that the wood comes alive, so to speak.
Yes.
And so you can have those kinds of experiences on Sunday morning at 11 till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Golden Square Freedom Park. Food and drinks, all those kinds of things.
Food and drinks. And Pearson, there's also another activity
What's
that
that?
evening, the literary tour of Bridgetown.
Oh, boy.
That is being hosted by Arts, etc. And last year, that was sold out. We have many of the local historians and actors involved in this, and they will be on board reading stories. And that if persons want to get involved with that, you have to pre-book. There's a WhatsApp message, but that will be part and parcel of that entire day.
Yeah, that's going to be so good. That is
Yes.
always so good
That is
indeed.
good,
That
yes.
tour
Yes.
is fantastic. Have you come to the Sandpipe Stories yet? No, we haven't.
No, we
And you
haven't.
know we get excited about
Yes,
Sandpipe
Sandpipe
Stories.
Stories is the 27th of June, and I'm looking forward to that. That was very popular during Regathering.
Always is.
Yes.
Always is. The event that you're looking at, Kolia, when is it?
That event is on the 25th of June, and it is a Zoom meeting that you can register for to gain more insight in the youth and their involvement. So it is a mixture of a cross-cultural conversation between individuals from Kenya as well as individuals from Barbados, with both the road program as well as UE students. And it is a Zoom that you can register about the role of AI in preserving heritage artifacts and information, and conversations around why that's important.
How do we register for it again?
You just follow our socials, which are Culture Barbados. You're sure to reach out to Sharon, reach out to any of the volunteers. You could reach Dr. Johnson at 535-5858. That's correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
And you can just say that you want to be a part of the program, say that you're interested, and we're happy to invite you on and share more information. But specifically for that Zoom, just keep a look on our socials and stay informed. We have this Heritage Month calendar that is also available online that you can continue to follow along. And we look forward to seeing you be a part of the conversation in the Zoom. It's involved. Bring your questions, have a better understanding, and have a better understanding of the youth perspective.
And that's going to be so interesting. I can't wait to see how that plays out indeed. Get young people involved, actively involved in preserving culture, understanding its culture, first of all, its relevance, and then finding ways using technology today to preserve. We tend to see, oftentimes, you scan your photograph and your photograph comes alive.
Yes.
We see that online on socials a lot. And so there are many ways that we can use technology today to make heritage and our history real and still alive. And so that's that Zoom seminar all about indeed, I suppose. But it's linking Barbados and Kenya.
Yes, a
Yes,
cross-cultural
it is.
conversation.
Well, that came out of a visit I made to Kenya last year, and I met some phenomenal young people at an African conference, and we've remained in contact. So actually the title of this webinar is Why Heritage Matters, the Youth Perspective. So we're going to get their perspective. The young people at Road, as Collier said, they are involved in heritage preservation. The young people in Kenya as well, a heritage entrepreneur and developer. So they're also going to talk about what is their role in the preservation of heritage, which is important. We need to get our young people interested. I am on my way out. We need to bring in a new generation.
Yes. And they're coming.
Yes, they're coming.
It's exciting to know they're coming. Look at Collier,
Yeah.
young and full of energy.
yes.
They're coming. They're coming, people. But there's a lot happening as well to which we invite you. There's a lot happening. So Thursday, there is the public lecture.
Yes.
Lunchtime lecture at St. Mary's Anglican Church. That starts at noon.
Yeah.
And for just 1 hour, you can get to know a lot more about the Barbados rum and molasses industry after the American War of Independence. That's going to be really wonderful, the response.
Yes.
Then on Saturday, we're heading downtown. We have a number of things happening. There's the activity at the National Library Service.
Yes.
That's happening then. And then there is also that walk
Yes.
in Bridgetown.
Yes.
Sunday, the Antiques Roadshow, I call it. The Antiques Marketplace happens in Golden Square Freedom Park. That happens from 11 till about 5 in the afternoon. It's for everyone. It's going to be quite interactive indeed. You bring your items and let's look at it as well to give you the story behind and the value of and an understanding of what that item is. And so that's happening as well. Bring daddies. Daddies have to come along as well. Then there's the arts, etc. bus tour all through town. That's going to be important that you register for. Coming up on the 25th, that exciting opportunity online on Zoom for the interaction between Barbados and Kenya and the young people. You're looking at the latest technologies, how we preserve our heritage and our history, and how do we bring it all alive, make it all real and relevant still today. But the calendar of activities you can still find on your socials. Remind us of the social again, Kalia.
Our socials are, you can follow us at either Division of Culture or Culture Barbados, and you can continue to follow us on our website. Or just Google us, Culture Barbados, or the Ministry of Pan-African Affairs, and be sure to stay posted.
Get in touch, folks. Dr. Sharon, thank you as always.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I know we fly through these all the time, but there's so much. You go search it out for yourself, folks. And Kulia Bellamy, good to meet you as well.
Thank you.
Keep doing well what you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Morning Barbados is back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
This is CBC, your crop over and summer vibe destination. This year, we're living crop over across every platform: TV, radio, digital, culture, music, sport, entertainment, like never before. On TV8, it's Crop Over Live, Crop Over Sweet Spot, festival vibes, the raw energy straight from the heart of the action. On radio, we've got every vibe covered. 98.1 The One brings the heat. The Soca Squad, Soca Avenue. It's SATA, Signal Fridays, pure energy, pure vibes. Q100.7 FM honors the legacy. Crop Over Legends, Into Festival, the stories that built this festival. Vibe 94.7 FM brings it home. Crop Over Diaries, Calypso Legacy, Culture Unfiltered. And CBC News is on the ground for every story, update, and highlight. Everything streams live on our socials and YouTube. Wherever you are, you're connected. Plus, Spot, Connect.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
In the news we go now, Barbadians are being assured that the BIMPay system is functioning effectively. That's the view of Central Bank Governor Dr. the Most Honourable Kevin Greenidge. He was speaking during a press conference yesterday. It was called to provide an update on the new payment system, which has been operational for a couple of days and encountered some initial challenges. Trevor Thorpe now brings us a report.
The Central Bank Governor expressed confidence in the BIMPay system's performance and its potential to enhance payment processes in Barbados. While acknowledging there were some challenges which are being addressed, he revealed that the vast majority of the transactions were successfully executed.
99% of all those 20,000 transactions with a combined value of about 8 million were successful. So that's the payments bureau is doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's working great, and that's across all institutions. And that 0.1%, that 1%, less than 1%, that has been failed. We know why, There were formatting issues with respect to account number, branch number, some message formatting. We met with the CEOs on Sunday, we met with this morning again, and they're working through those issues, so this is good news. And for me, it's very, wonderful news because you expect different issues as the system is now rolled out.
The central bank governor added that should additional related challenges arise, they expect to have a quick resolution.
What I can tell you is that the email from Google said they will continue to work with us. They asked us to confirm. And so what I'm not saying to you is a permanent solution. They are aware of it. They are assigning a team to Barbados, and they're working with us. So if something happens, we can get it quick. Because don't forget, on their end too, it's not a human, it's not a person that is a defense, it's a system. And so while we're clear and we're good, if the system throws up something again, because I don't know, then we already have established communication and a channel with them that we work and get it resolved as fast as possible. What I know now, it's up and working. Try it, and if problems arise, we can solve them together.
There's a phase 2 of BIMPE that will include some government agencies, but no date has been given for that aspect of it. Deputy Governor with responsibility for currency, Michelle Doyle, told the audience while that is in the works, they are currently working to ensure all the financial institutions are successfully integrated into the system.
The intent for the phase 2 relates to the government agencies, including NISS. But at the same time, we also want to give opportunity to some of the other non-banks. And a lot of this will be based on the requirements that we have set with regard to the standardization, given that what we have done is, and it's no small feat in terms of the platform that we have created. It means that in order for everything to work successfully, there has to be standardization in terms of the payments data.
The central bank governor says BIMPE is a complementary payment system now used in Barbados. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Over the past 3 years, Barbados' food import bill has moved from $6 billion annually to $13.76 billion. The revelation from Minister of Agriculture, Food and Nutritional Security, Dr. Chantal Munro-Knight, who was speaking at the opening ceremony of the United Nations Food Systems Investment Forum at Hilton, Barbados. She says the figure represents 5% of regional gross domestic product.
Not perfect, not risk-free, but very real. And with the right structuring and the right partnerships, fully investable. The United Nations is not here to finance deals. As a trusted partner of governments, development finance institutions, investors, producers, and the private sector, the United Nations is uniquely positioned to link policy priorities and financing opportunities. We are here to bridge the gaps between governments and investors, between policy and capital, and between ambition and execution.
Well, that was in fact the UN resident coordinator to the Eastern Caribbean, Simon Springett, who told investors there was a real opportunity across the region in agriculture, fisheries, processing and logistics, as there's a pipeline. Let's turn to sports now. The semi-finals of the Baiko Primary School's football competition are set for Thursday at the BFA Technical Center. This after Milton Lynch defeated St. Stephen's and St. George got the better of Deacons in yesterday's quarterfinal matches at Greens. Anmar Goodrich Boyce reports.
Quarterfinal number 1 featured Milton Lynch in the yellow and green and St. Stephen's Primary. And it only took a single goal to decide it. Deep into extra time, Yashiro Brown with the winning touch. It didn't matter how it went in. Golden goal moment. Milton Lynch 1, St. Stephen's 0, the final score. Match number 2, St. George in the yellow versus Deacons. 24 minutes in, shot from outside the box, and Manny Herbert opens the scoring. Let's go to the 39th minute now. This is gorgeous play from Deacons, and deservingly, it ended like this. Emilio Morgan sneaks the ball in at the near post. St. George can't believe it. 1-1 at full time. Then it was down to penalties. The first couple converted, and then it was down to this. Oh dear, he missed it. Pull your head up, son. Better luck next time. As St. George went on to win 3-1 on penalties. And more Goodrich boys. CBC Sports.
Well, the semi-finals will have St. Cyprian's versus Milton Lynch and Arthur Smith versus St. George Primary Schools. That's a look at news and sports. Until now, Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
This is CBC, your crop over and summer vibe destination. This year, we're living crop over across every platform. TV, radio, digital, culture, music, sport, entertainment, like never before. On TV8, it's Crop Over Live, Crop Over Sweet Spot, Festival Vibes, the raw energy, straight from the heart of the action. On radio, we've got every vibe covered. 98.1 The One brings the heat. The Soca Squad, Soca Avenue. It's SATA, Signal Fridays, pure energy, pure vibes. Q100.7 FM honors the legacy. Crop Over Legends, in the festival. The stories that built this festival. Vibe 94.7 FM brings it home. Crop Over Diaries, Calypso Legacy, Culture Unfiltered. And CBC News is on the ground for every story, update, and highlight. Everything streams live on our socials. And
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 10 minutes now after 7 o'clock from the showroom of Inchcape Barbados in Warrens. It's changing. The weather is changing. It's clearing just a little bit. I wanted to stay really for a whole lot longer, but that's just wishful thinking, I suppose. We're turning our attention now to another novel by another Barbadian. I just love the fact that Barbadians are writing and publishing and producing and writing, and still, I'm so thrilled by this. And so the title of this book is When Duty Calls Me. When Duty Calls Me. When Duty Calls Who? And when duty calls who to do what? That's my question I have to ask of the author, who's joining me now, Margaret Emello Wilson. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Good to have you. And you brought along with you Dr. Zorita Marshall, the co-editor and co-publisher of this book. Dr. Marshall, good morning as well.
Good morning to you, Pearson.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to write this book.
Well, I'm a nurse of 43 years, and what inspired me to write this book, I did dialysis for about 20 years. And 2 years before this book was written, they did a presentation and they gave us awards. And part of my thing, I said, I have so much experience. I'm going to write a book. I just made a statement. Yes. And they said, so why don't you write a book? They challenged me. And they said, going to do that. And so I did that. But COVID came. I couldn't find the time to do it at all. And COVID came and it was locked down. And I wrote this book during the lockdown.
So the time came?
The time came.
The time came during COVID.
Yes.
I love the fact that you've been obedient to your calling. I'm always happy about obedience generally, but the fact that you could not resist. And I've also lived myself by the mantra that you have to live a life to tell a story. And that is not to make up a story, but your contribution must be, the sum total of it must be significant enough that it could be told. And so that's what you've been able to do. You worked in the dialysis unit at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. You've seen life unfold and life leave in the space where you worked as well.
Yes.
And was that part of your inspiration for writing?
No, the total nursing experience from the time I came in to the time I exited, it was, I just wanted to, I had all this experience and I just wanted to share it. And so I wrote.
So are you telling your story or telling other people's stories?
I'm telling my story, my story. And this is only half of what I've experienced. This is only half of it. I couldn't put everything in. And then after they published it, I said, but I can't put in everything. Why don't you put a bit? I said, can't put in everything. And there's some things that are not told.
Right.
And some things that we can talk about.
You can talk about.
Yeah.
And so you took the time to remember, reflect, and to write down onto paper what you've lived.
Yes.
And it is designed in that way to do what? To just be another short story that we read?
No.
Or is it meant to be something else?
I really want to inspire young nurses because the people don't like nursing because obviously it's not highly paid, and you have to bank holidays and Christmas and those days you got to go to the hospital or clinics, wherever you're working, and people don't like that. That's a commitment. dedication that you have to be sold out to. And so I wanted people to understand the joy in nursing. And so I put it down. And I'm hoping that when they read the book, they recognize that she really had a good time in the hospital. 43 years is not 43 days.
You are so right on that score. And so, but you are so much more than just the sum total of your job. You're also a believer.
Yes,
and
I
so
am.
you're on a journey, again, being obedient to your calling, to be able to use that to talk to others.
You cannot imagine the obedience. Because out of all of this, I'm doing a resource center. I'm teaching skills, I'm bringing people into form, I'm empowering families. And so it is a great job.
Yeah.
Great job, but I love it.
But God gives us all duties.
Yes, yes.
He asks us, and He deliberately gave to us all that we need to be able to complete
all
the task.
that we need. All that we need is already given.
Yes,
yes.
That's right. Oh, that's a song. That's a lyric in the song indeed. And so
it's a biblical statement.
Almost made me burst into singing. And so there it is. You have taken it and condensed it into your understanding of what your purpose has been, and why it was aligned with the work that you did, and now the work you're doing through the writing of this book to inspire nurses primarily, but to inspire people generally.
People.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's a nurse when you look at it. Everybody wants to be a nurse when it comes to it, but they don't know the intricacies of nursing.
Yeah. And so is it written as a beautiful little prose that you see flowery language and the like, or is it like an instructional book?
Well, it's written in both. There are some areas that we have the instructions, like I wrote about my experience early. I was one of the nurses who was in the time of the Cubana crash, and that was an experience, and I actually went to the site and everything to deal with. We thought we were going to deal with human beings, but then we came back with people without heads and hands and all that. And that was an experience on me, and I got that. I even wrote about that in the book, and I got the relief when a professor came from Canada. Not a professor, but one of the people from the emergency departments and they taught us how to do. And I used that in my trauma because I was head of the accident and emergency for a number of years. And I used that whenever we had a trauma. I would always use that procedure to help bring my nurses back to form.
Wow. So. I could talk to you forever on that story for sure. But Dr. Marshall, how did you get involved in this journey?
Well, it's such a beautiful story. I was here in 2023 with an organization in the USA called Restore to Empower, and we had a conference called Imagine Me Becoming. Wow. And Margaret was there, she attended, and we were offering services to people here who were writers, who wanted to make jewelry, do some skills. And she said to us, I wrote a book, but I don't know, I want to get it published. And we said, of course, we can help you do that. And so the journey began with both of us. Yes. And not even knowing that I went to school with her sister as well. So the journey just took this turn. And here we are today with When Duty Calls Me. I co-edited this book and co-published it with a Jamaican author as well from Sparks Books, Leighton Spalding. And we are here with this wonderful story of Margaret's journey in the nursing profession.
When you read it, because you must have been one of the first pair of eyes to read the story.
Yes.
What did you get from it?
Well, years ago, I thought I wanted to become a nurse. And when I read this, I said, wow, this is so intense. You have to do a lot of things in nursing. And sometimes you don't realize the magnitude of illnesses and people having some really serious issues. But it was kind of thought-provoking. And I really understood the nursing profession and how important it is to us as human beings. So we journeyed, as I said, and we continued to do our drafts, and then we finalized it.
And so it was a no-brainer. It has to go to publishing.
Yes.
Because it's good enough, and we believe it's complete enough to be able to go to publishing. So now we have the physical copies, and it's good to go. And I know you're talking a lot about, Ms. Wilson, about nursing. And I don't want the viewer simply to think this is a nurse's book.
No.
This is a people's book.
Yes, it is.
While it's also about nursing, because nurses engage with anyone from anywhere, regardless of class, creed, culture, everything. You look at the condition, the human condition, and you attend to the need of that human condition.
Yeah.
Oftentimes it's physical, but within all of that, you also have to take time to be inspiring.
Yes.
So that life flows yet again through the veins of that individual.
You see, person, at the end of my tenure in nursing, we had set up for Ebola. Ebola was supposed to be the thing. And we had set up, and we had set up, we sorted out. I was the emergency person.
Here we are again.
And so we had already set up. So when I heard about COVID in Barbados, I said, QEH nurses have already been trained in PPEs, all those things we have been training them in, and they are ready to go. I could sit down home and say, QEH is ready. Yes, because I know of what we had done.
Right.
And so,
I have a thing when I take books, I just take it, I open it and let it take me to somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
This book I just opened took me to page 27, the true number of bones in the human thigh, one in each, and deep they lie. The true number of bones in the human knee, one in each, the knee pan, please. The true number of bones in each lower leg, two in each, form the natural peg. The true number of bones in each human foot, 12, every rhythm of life's step they put. And the poetry continues. But the whole ordeal was filled with fun and laughter for the remainder of that session. We practiced and performed several times over. This is a story of what?
This is a lady by the name of Madeline Norris. You remember her?
Yes.
And she had written these things to help us nurses to get to remember the different parts of the bodies and all that. So we would sing that so that we can get our bones. We don't have to forget which bone joins which one. It was easy for us to remember with that singing and dancing and getting it together.
Wow, and so with all of this, you took time to remember others.
Yes.
Who were a part of your journey.
Yes.
Through your professional career, but who stayed with you through your life's journey as well, because there were nuggets that they planted in you that helped to inspire you as to understanding life and how everything connects. And so everything connects in this book, living a purpose-driven life. Too many of us wake up every morning without reason, and too many of us drift through life without purpose. And so this book helps to center us for just a moment. It's by Margaret Emelo Wilson. When Duty Calls Me. We're called every single day to complete a duty. I keep saying this to you every morning. You are called to, one, serve God, and to love your neighbors as you love yourself. The two greatest commandments ever that you're called to do. And so that's part of your duty. And so you see, connect with God, connect with others, not even ask you to connect with yourself.
So person, as a result of this book, this proceeds of this book will be going towards the resource center. Okay. I'm doing a resource center in Vauxhall. It's to empower.
You're in Vauxhall?
I don't live in Vauxhall, but my God led me to Vauxhall. And I love Vauxhall and the people of Vauxhall. And so I've started a center, but it is, I'm saying to God, what is it?
She's shaking with it. I love it.
God, what are you doing? And I've started. Yeah. And I really would need it. And so this book is going to help to help with the cost. And anybody who would come on board with me, I'd be willing, I'd be glad to have them. We're going to be teaching skills, doing counseling, we'll be doing hydroponics, food security, yes. There's so many things that we have in store for us there. And if I could only get that building up, we're going to Barbados, here I come.
Wow, so you are now called for other duty. And so where can we get copies of the book? How can we?
Well, it is now being sold at the Reuters. That is a stationery in A1.
Okay, so it's available locally.
Is it available but it's
online
on Amazon.
Well? Oh, girl, you're going big. On Amazon, thanks to you. So Dr. Marshall, thank you for publishing. So it's on Amazon. We just type in your name, Margaret, and look the spelling, Margaret.
And it's going to come up just like that.
Yeah, MARGARETTE. No one else has that spelling.
I was just talking to Jessica before the show, and she sent and ordered 2 of them.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So already we're selling. Yeah. And so I want you to get a copy of this and read it. Read the story of Margaret Wilson. And in reading that story of Margaret Wilson, understand your call to duty. and why that call to duty requires a sense of duty as well, because I think it is in all of us to be able to respond to that call. Thank you so much, Margaret. For
And
this
that book
public-
is your book.
Oh, bless you.
Look and see what I wrote for you.
Dear Pearson, may my journey in nursing inspire your journalistic excellence. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, and indeed for being obedient to the call to duty. And thank you so much, Dr. Marshall, as well, in also being obedient to that call to duty. I wish you well.
Say thank you to her. She's done so much.
Yeah.
And she's going all the way with me.
We're going the full journey. We're going the full journey. Thank you so much indeed. Morning Barbados is back with more right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
This is CBC, your crop over and summer vibe destination. This year, we're living crop over across every platform: TV, radio, digital, culture, music, sport, entertainment, like never before. On TV8, it's Crop Over Live, Crop Over Sweet Spot, festival vibes, the raw energy, straight from the heart of the action. On radio, we've got every vibe covered. 98.1 The One brings the heat. The Soca Squad, Soca Avenue. It's SATA, Signal Fridays, pure energy, pure vibes. Q100.7 FM honors the legacy. Crop Over Legends, in the festival. The stories that built this festival. Vibe 94.7 FM brings it home. Crop Over Diaries, Calypso Legacy, Culture Unfiltered. And CBC News is on the ground for every story, update, and highlight. Everything streams live on our socials and YouTube. Wherever you are, you're connected. Plus, spot, connect, and win. One loyal CBC listener or viewer drives away in a Suzuki Hybrid. This isn't just a season. This is CBC. This is the Crop Over and Summer Vibe.
Crop Over lives on TV8. It's where the season comes alive. From the
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 26 minutes now after 7 o'clock. I'm joined by someone who refers to herself as a human-centered marketing specialist. Human-centered marketing specialist. I like that. And so her name is Christina Hunt. Christina, good morning.
Good morning.
What does that mean? Human-centered marketing specialist.
Thank you so much for having me this morning.
You're welcome.
As a human-centered marketing specialist, that just means that my marketing strategies have a very human-centric approach where we do a lot of research and talking to customers and finding out what they want, what their needs are, what their frustrations are, and how your product as a company can fit into customers' lives. So you're putting the customer in the driver's seat in your marketing plans and making sure that they feel heard and understood and they actually want to buy what you're selling.
And you're also hoping to be authentic, because there are too many other environments around that can be so similar. And so in your approach to how you market people, you want them to stand out, for people to see who they are as their true self and not a copy of something else.
Correct. And why should customers care?
And why should customers care? Why should someone care about you? Why should someone think that your product or service is important enough?
Exactly.
And so that's what you're driven to do. You're also driven to help us understand within this age of technology how to be authentic. And so let's talk a little bit about what is happening in that space known as the digital sphere.
Absolutely. You know, we are in the age of AI right now. And as a marketer, I've seen the adoption of AI in a lot of different aspects of not just business, but marketing specifically. And what I found is that a lot of people are copying each other, like you were talking about, and sounding the same. So you would read a website and it sounds like something you read before. You read a social media post, it sounds so similar, and you can see similar formatting, and it feels like, wait, haven't I seen this before? And then you see the flyers and they look all the same, the same colors, the same layout, the same formatting, the same graphic elements. They just look the same, and it's like, okay, guys, we need to do something about this. Like, we love technology, absolutely, and we love the benefits that AI brings for business, but we still have to make sure that we don't get lost in the slop. If you want customers to choose you and to care, you have to differentiate your brand. And that's what I'm all about.
It looks pretty. Hey, but look at Sadie, you might just love the fact that Christina found that copy that I really wanted to use myself.
Yes, yes.
And so you figure, you know what, maybe not many people are. And you stumble upon so many other people using that particular template.
Correct. You feel like this is a gem, but then
it's no longer a gem. The
it's no
value is
longer a
diminished.
gem.
But that's because we're templating ourselves, if that's the term I could use.
Absolutely.
So how do we then, in the age of AI, break out of that? Because it's so tempting.
It is really tempting because I've spoken to a lot of business owners who, of course, have struggles. Like if you're an accountant, for example, you didn't go to school and learn marketing. You didn't go to school and learn, several different aspects of business. That can be very challenging, right? So I get the appeal for using the platforms because it makes life easy.
Yes.
However, because I want people to recognize that you want customers to, one, see you in a sea of options. You want them to recognize that, oh, there's something different about that business, and that speaks to me. That, in order to get there, the first step is getting clear on yourself. The first step is really taking a step back and identifying, who am I as a business owner? What am I here to bring to the table? What's my mission? Like, why did I start this business? And who do I really want to serve? What impact do I want to make on the world? And getting clear on that will give you a good sense of how you should communicate and how you can then differentiate your offering and your messaging from other people who might offer the same thing as you, but not on the same mission as you. So it starts by getting really, really clear on the identity part of the brand so that we can work on the messaging side of the brand.
Sometimes we think we know who we are, but oftentimes we discover that we now know who we are based on what other people say about us. And you're saying, don't get caught up in the other noise. Know who you are.
Correct.
Know what it is you are about.
You got to go inside.
Yeah, you have to really go inside.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen just like that. It can take time.
It's work.
But you're right, it's some work. But that work pays off in the end.
It pays off. It absolutely does, yeah.
And so you're having a couple of sessions coming up where you help us with the work.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
sometimes we don't know how to navigate it ourselves.
Correct.
And so you're saying, I can help you with this.
Absolutely.
What's coming up? What are you doing? What are those avenues you're introducing us to?
Yeah, so I'm doing a really wonderful initiative called the Credibility Summit. And this is a free virtual event that is hosted on Zoom next Wednesday, the 24th of June. And it's a 3-hour summit. We're not going to have you there all day. But it's 3 hours and it's jam-packed with so much vital information for your business. So we're going to have presentations, workshops, a panel discussion called People Can Tell. Because as we just discussed, people can see the similarities in the flyers and so on. And what we're doing is giving you the tools and also some giveaways to help you. So like we're giving you the knowledge and then we're giving you the opportunity to win some of those tools as well, from a free subscription for a whole year to Claude AI. And also there's the opportunity to win a DJI Mic Mini to help you record better content, so like there are different giveaways to help you get the word out there about your business in a clean and professional way. So we're giving you a good balance.
That's online?
Yes.
All of this is online?
Yes.
How do I register?
So you go to ChristinaHunt.com/rail. That is the landing page where you can read all about the entire campaign, which is called Let's Be Real, because I want people to be real.
Let's be real.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're all about authenticity, and we want to give you the tools to be more authentic in your business. So ChristinaHunt.com/rail. Read all about the campaign, you click the button, and you sign up for the summit.
All right, so that's coming up on the 24th.
On the 24th of June.
Next week, Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
That's one event.
Yes.
What's the other one?
So actually tomorrow, which is the 17th, we have an IG live session. So of course that's free and that's online on my page. And in that session is called Let's Be Real as well. We're encouraging women to be more real and be more authentic when presenting online, So we're discussing like what are the challenges that stop women or that hinder women from wanting to show up, because a lot of my clients tend to be women, and they give me all their fears about, I don't want to make content, gotta get my hair done first, I gotta get everything done first.
It's always the hair.
And I just want people to know that you don't have to look quote unquote perfect to show up, because your message is what matters.
Yeah.
Yes.
And your authenticity again, I come right back to that, because sometimes though your hair is unkempt, it might well be the statement that people want to hear.
It might be the thing that makes the video go viral.
Precisely. And so you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be real and have a story to tell.
Yes.
And an authentic story to tell. And so ChristinaHunt.com/real is where we go. We can sign up. We can be a part of this. It's absolutely free.
Yes.
But it's really targeted at helping you to find your own space, find your own footing, find your authenticity, having a true story to tell.
Absolutely.
Being recognized immediately and seeing the returns on that particular one. And these are investments that will cost you nothing but a little bit of time. And I know that time has a value, I get it. But at the same time, at the end of it, that time you spend will bring you such returns that you really can't put a value on that time that you spent.
Correct.
Because at the end of each of those sessions, you get a chance to walk away with something, information, but a little other tangible items as well.
And you walk away with a big network as well, because we're having breakout networking sessions in the summit. So that's another reason why everybody should sign up.
Indeed. I know sometimes when we go online, we see not just posters, we see videos. And you can tell right away, that ain't real.
Exactly.
That ain't real. And so you're saying, be careful. Be careful how we use the technology, because sometimes in going for the unreal scenarios, you find that you will not see the returns that you're expecting. Just be authentic, just be real.
Just gotta be authentic, yes.
Just be authentic indeed. And so that's an answer also to the fear a lot of people have about artificial intelligence, that it will take over the human. And you say?
I say come to the summit, because we have that as a part of our panel discussion. We're going to talk about the balance between the human side of things and the technological side of things as well. Yeah.
So you got to really follow her website. It's ChristinaHunt.com/real or ChristinaHunt.com. And she can help you because she's into human-centered marketing. And so as a specialist, she says, come, I'll share with you. I want to make you better. I want you to have the returns that you're looking forward to having. But it starts with you.
Yeah,
it starts with you
really
investing in yourself and having a greater understanding of the world in which you're operating now, the technologies that are in that world, to help you really be able to get out there and be special in what you're doing. But it starts with you understanding your purpose and your story and the people who you serve, and then the network which you're part. All of that. It's a lot. But Christina Hunt can help you sort this out. That's a promise, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So there's an activity tomorrow. There is an activity next week, Wednesday as well. So 2 Wednesdays, tomorrow and the following Wednesday online. Tomorrow is an IG Live.
Yeah, and that's on I Am Christina Hunt on Instagram.
Right. On Instagram is I Am Christina Hunt. I Am Christina Hunt on Instagram. That's tomorrow, a virtual summit. Then next week, Wednesday, it's on Zoom.
Credibility Summit,
That's on Zoom now.
Zoom,
So you go to ChristinaHunt.com/real and get the Zoom credentials.
Yes.
But show up and show off, show out. Don't be embarrassed at all to tell your true, authentic story. Christina Hunt has the experience to be able to help you navigate your feelings around your story so that your story begins to have some true message that everyone wants to hear.
Absolutely.
It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. And it's not just for women. It's not just for women.
And the thing is, the beautiful thing is business owners can join, marketers can join, anybody in business, anybody who's curious can join.
Just be curious.
Yes.
Join. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you so much for having me.
What do you like this weather?
I absolutely love it.
You're my kind of girl. You're my kind of girl. Thank you. Have a good day, all right?
You too.
You're very welcome.
All right.
Morning Barbados comes back with more. I'll introduce you to some ambassadors who are going for the Spirit of the Lion title. Stay with us right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Cropover lives on TV8. It's where the season comes alive. From the road to the stage, we've got it covered. The vibes, the music, the culture, all in one place. TV8. We are Cropover Live.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
We could put on a fantastic show. All the best artists in the world, if the show ain't got nobody in it, show ain't say nothing. So in the grand scheme of things, any party, any fete, any production, the people is who's really made the thing, right? So that was one of those, it's almost like an ode to the people. Because one is who's met this thing, you know.
Two, get ready. 1, 2, 1, 2. It could be a pet or a line. When we come together, because you, we are the heart of the party. When the sound swing, it could be a lime or a fet. Be ready to sweat. Here's our shot you want, then real Andy.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
This is CBC, your crop over and summer vibe destination. This year, we're living crop over across every platform: TV, radio, digital, culture, music, sport, entertainment, like never before. On TV8, it's Crop Over Live, Crop Over Sweet Spot, festival vibes, the raw energy, straight from the heart of the action. On radio, we've got every vibe covered. 98.1 The One brings the heat. The Soca Squad, Soca Avenue. It's SATA, Signal Fridays, pure energy, pure vibes. Q100.7 FM honors the legacy. Crop Over Legends, Indie Festival, the stories that built this festival. Vibe 94.7 FM brings it home. Crop Over Diaries, Calypso Legacy, Culture Unfiltered. And CBC News is on the ground for every story, update, and highlight. Everything streams live on our socials and YouTube. Wherever you are, you're connected. Plus, spot, connect, and win. One loyal CBC listener or viewer drives away in a Suzuki Hybrid. This isn't just a season. This is CBC. This is the Crop Over and Summer Vibe.
Crop Over lives on TV8. It's where the season comes alive. From the road to the stage, we've got it covered. The vibes, the music, the culture, all in one place. TV8. We are Crop Over Live.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth.
Morning, morning, good morning, good morning to you.
18 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. As you know, I've been telling you about this for weeks, how hugely proud I am of the progress made by the students of St. George Secondary School. And so yet again, there's another opportunity for us in another year to come out and give our full support to the positivity that flows from the minds and the spirit and the energy of those students of the school by inviting you to the Spirit of the Lion show this coming Saturday in Frank Cullimore Hall. They have now expanded the venue. They've upscaled it, so to speak. It's now going to be at the Frank Cullimore Hall. It can accommodate so many more of you. So I really want you to come in numbers, as you did last year, to give your support to these 18 students who are vying for the title of the Spirit of the Lion. And so we're joined this morning by Jessica Odell-Baril, who is a mentor to the whole contest, indeed, but specifically to Flat Rock St. George. Good to have you.
Wonderful to be here, Pearson. This feels like coming home for me.
It is home for you. You sat where I sit, indeed.
Long ago.
A little while ago, indeed, but good to have you.
Pleasure.
And a number of those ambassadors for Green St. George we have with us this morning, Ariel Barker-Yard and Matthew Augustin. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
Welcome to Morning Barbados. And the ambassadors for Flat Rock in St. George, Jeremy Boyce and Naziah Webb. Good morning to you as well. Good morning. Jessica, I'll start with you. Isn't this a phenomenal program?
It is. You know, as we age in communities, we have to look back. And when I heard about this show, I looked at the flyer and I said, you know, which two of these would I pick? And I picked Jeremy and Naziah.
Yes.
Why? Because it is so important for elders and communities to reach back and to give us some of the what I call jewels of our lived experience. Even if it may not land initially the way you hope it will, we believe that over the years, the young people will take those jewels and realize, oh, that really makes sense. And I've lived long enough now to know that this happens. And so I wanted to work with Jeremy and Naziah, and it's been an interesting journey.
How so? What have you been doing on that journey?
Well, I'll let you tell them what the actual projects were, but Pedro Cumberbatch is their mentor also. And together we work with them to create the program that they can tell you about. But the hard part was getting them to talk. Young people don't talk as much as they used to. Do I lie? You have to almost pull words out. So it was interesting because we make the point that unless you're able to communicate, doors do not open for you.
Yes.
And this whole program is about enlightening you, encouraging you to be the best person you can be, equipping you with skills and talents so that you can be an independent and contributor to this nation. And that's what's important.
And it's also important that young people recognize that you do have within you all that it takes.
Yes.
You just have to be confident enough to be able to let it flow from you.
Exactly.
And that's where I think also they benefit in a very significant way, because we've been seeing the excellence flowing from these children in so many other ways. Why not in being conversational? Why not in being confident enough to take a microphone and to speak into that microphone and tell your story?
Well, interestingly enough, at the gala night is how I would refer it. They must do this.
Yes.
They have to tell their story. And of course, they've been practicing quite a bit. And I have not been privy to most of those, but I'm looking forward to seeing them flourish. Of course, I have a bias, but I shouldn't, because the key is that all students do well. Doesn't matter who wins.
That's right.
But it's what you've garnered along the way. And I'm really excited and delighted that they've agreed, because they've volunteered to come on this program. Some maybe needed a little bit more nudging than others, but we are satisfied that we see the progress and that this is going to redound to their benefit. When they leave St. George Secondary School, they see we can have this on it.
That's right.
Because not everybody could. There are 9 teams and there are hundreds of students. And so they are today 4 of joining others who will make their mark on this nation's stage.
And that mark is also being made by the school plant in general.
Yes.
I really cannot underscore sufficiently the many successes I've had the opportunity to share on this show. There's a young lady who is into poetry who has been recognized as the outstanding poet just recently in an awards ceremony. Your athletics team, your sporting team in general, in many disciplines, sport discipline as well. You've just won the letter writing competition. And I can go on and on. Your farm that you did as part of the $20 challenge, which has been tremendous and brought great return as well.
Pearson, you really know St. George Secondary
the teacher of the year in that same challenge as well, who won the award. And that's because of the school compound, the school community. And I'm saying all of that deliberately because we oftentimes tend to add labels to things we don't know, unfairly so. And so now you know better, Barbados, of the excellence that reside within those walls, then that compound known as St. George Secondary School. You can now set aside some of the other stories that you may have heard and recognize that not all is as told to you sometimes. Know for yourself. And so we give you the opportunity here on Morning Barbados all the time to know for yourself by telling you the truth of what's flowing from within that school compound as well. I think that's important to know.
Very important. I'd like to add to that, Pearson, that there's room in community for volunteerism. And every school in Barbados could use a volunteer, whether it's through the reading, etiquette, and so many programs that could be developed free of cost if you give of your time to the students who then will become the men and women who we want to look up to. And that is part of the reason why Pedro and I are part of this program and encourage particularly people in St. George to support St. George Secondary by one way or the other.
One way or the
Mr.
other.
Brown would be delighted, and Miss Seeley, who is the overarching person behind the program, would be delighted as well. So big up.
Leadership is important.
Very
you know,
important.
I know that, and you know that too. Leadership is important. I know Mr. Brown leads from the front, and I know there's something you say every morning at assembly. You do remember that about lions? Do you really, really remember? Some of you look a little blank. I'll get Mr. Brown to come and deal with you a little later on that one. But there's an affirmation which they repeat every day at assembly, he tells me. And so I think that's important for all of you to know, so that it reminds you and guides you every single day. I'm not going to preach at you, even I'm tempted to do that all the time. So what I'll do is I'll take a break right here, then I'll come back and introduce you, Barbados, to these 4 who are competing in this weekend's Spirit of the Lions show at the Frank Cullimer Hall. Back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the showroom at Inchcape Barbados in Warrens, we now bring you the Lions of St. George. And so representing as ambassadors for Greens in St. George is Ariel and Michael. Now, Ariel, good morning again. And so talk to me about why this whole competition is so engaging.
Well, this competition is engaging because I did not originally pass for St. George. I went to a different school, and while I was in 3rd form, I'm in 4th form now, I went to the competition last year and I saw it. And I was like, what is what I want to do?
Wow.
So my mother works at the school. So I talked to my mother and I was able to get a transfer. And I just was loving it when I joined it.
Oh,
it was
boy.
amazing.
What have you been doing that's been so amazing to you?
Well, on every Sunday, we tend to Greens. So we go and we spend time. And my mentor, Janice Perryman, actually lives in Greens. So one of our projects were going and finding out about the old people and the centenarians, because there were 8 centenarians that came out of Greens.
Wow.
The oldest woman that ever lived in Barbados, that died at 110 years old, came out of Greens.
Wow, so there's a lot of history right there. I just love the way you were able to tell that story so confidently. And I saw pictures of you while you were speaking, engaging with young people as well, Michael, and young people in the community of Greens. And so what now do you know more about Greens?
Well, I know that it's located between 2 draft houses. I never knew that before.
Yes.
But I didn't even know the location before until the show. So the show actually helped me to figure out more about St. George itself. And I feel more confident, comfortable just going out and talking.
So we're days away from Saturday, days away from the Spirit of the Lion show at the Frank Cullimer Hall. Are you ready, Michael?
Yes, I am.
How much ready are you? What percentage of readiness are you?
I can't out for competition.
I love it. I love it. You're ready to compete fiercely and to make sure. So all of this means that you have to prepare a speech and so forth, a report of your time. So is that report complete, and have you been rehearsing your presentation of that?
Yes, we're just practicing more so that I don't mess up on it at the night.
Ariel, has he been messing up in rehearsal?
Not really.
Not really. But you're working together as a team to
Yes.
ensure
Yes,
that you
it
can deliver for Greens St. George as well.
Yes.
I know you're excited because you've had a visit into the community to invite all the people of Greens to come and support you in particular, right?
Yes, please.
All right, good. Mr. Jeremy the athlete. Good morning to you, Jeremy.
Morning.
How are you doing today?
Fine, thanks.
Are you ready to put your athleticism into wrestling and taking home the crown on Saturday?
Yeah, as ready as can be.
As ready as can be. So how ready are you really?
Well, just go see on Saturday.
We have to come and see.
Saturday.
Have you got your suit sorted out? Because there's a formal wear segment, right?
Yes, please.
A lot of students have come in and said to me, I had to learn how to walk. Have you had to do that too?
Not really. When I was younger, I was in a pageant before, so it's a natural thing to me, so it just...
So you come with experience?
A little bit, yeah.
Some experience,
Yes,
indeed. Is your suit being made for you, or is this one that's going to be bought for you?
It was bought, but, got a little spruced up.
Of course. And so you've determined now what your look will be, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well done. And you want to give us a sneak peek?
Yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough. Tell me about Flat Rock, St. George. Where is it?
Well, for me, I live close because I am from St. George, living Vineland, Glebe. So it was just, for me, it's just short of the hill. But I learned a lot because it was never really in Flat Rock as much. So when I first went in there, the elders from my Jeffrey Whitaker, he taught us a lot about Flat Rock. The buildings, and it's not really a large place. It's just a small little place, but it have a lot of surroundings. There are a lot of different communities that everybody would call Flat Rock.
Yeah.
So it was really intriguing to learn and to discover more things about it.
What have you discovered about yourself in taking this program?
Well, I don't really see myself as a really outspoken person, I'm more keep to myself. I would talk a tiny thing, but I have to be comfortable around people to talk. But for me, I saw myself engaging more with new people, as the residents are very welcoming. So as soon as they started into the community, I felt like home. They welcomed us in. So it was easier for me to communicate because
I'm seeing some pictures on the screen of you engaging with our elderly as well. And that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was fun.
You learned so much.
Yeah, always fun to learn from the elders. A lot of knowledge.
I love it. I love it indeed. Nazaya, what about you? Tell me about Flat Rock.
Well, I didn't know a place in St. George named Flat Rock. It was a new thing to me. I didn't know a lot of communities was in Flat Rock. But when I went into Flat Rock and I started talking, at first I was shy. I didn't know what to say to the people, but as I keep going, they are very fun to be around, and just engaging with them, talking to them, and stuff like that.
People are fun. People always have stories to tell. All you have to do is ask the question, they'll tell you their story. You better believe it. And so here you are now, a finalist in the upcoming Spirit of the Lion show. In terms of your readiness, do you feel confident that you're totally ready?
Yes, please.
All right. Shoes bought and everything?
Yes.
So what's the color you're wearing on Saturday? You're not going to tell me? Blue?
The blue.
So you have to go with your theme?
Yes.
Something, and is it a long gown or is it flowing with a train? What does it have? I'm trying to sneak peek. It's a secret. Come and see, right?
Come and see.
All right, and so all the Flat Rock needs to come out and enjoy you and support you indeed, all right?
Yes,
so I really want Flat Rock, St. George. Come support these two young people, Jeremy and Isaiah, who are representing you at the upcoming Spirit of the Lion show on Saturday. So here we are. We are now moments away from the show. And what you're winning is just recognition mostly, but at the end of the day, you're winning self-development. That is something no one can take from you. No one on this planet can take from you. Know yourself, know your worth. And in knowing all of that, it gives you a platform upon which you can stand You find your back straightened as a consequence of knowing who you are and knowing your worth. No one can defeat you. No one can defeat you. It doesn't matter where you rank at the end of the day, no one can defeat you. And because of what you know, now you know something that a lot of us do not know. You know about Green St. George. You know about Flat Rock. You have something to boast about. Because a lot of what you shared with me, I did not know. So now I am enlightened by what you've been able to achieve as well. And so I want to commend each of you for agreeing to be a part of this, for learning along the journey of everything that you've been able to absorb, how to walk, how to carry yourself, how to be confident, how to speak with clarity and with conviction, and how to project your voice so that I at the back of the hall can still hear you even though you have a microphone. Just speak into the microphone with confidence. Walk and carry yourself. And as deputy head boy, I know that you know what it means for one to deport oneself in a particular way, right?
Yes, please.
Or there are consequences. Same thing with life. There are always consequences to life. And so you balance your decision making against the consequences, and you will find that right balance that tells you, yeah, I'm doing the right thing. And I think you're doing the right thing by being a part of this. I want to wish you well.
Thank
I
you.
wish you well. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. You know you have my full support.
Will you be joining us at the show on Saturday?
Can't on Saturday. I have another engagement.
I'll shout loud for you then.
Please do, for all of them indeed. And so we're excited about this. It's roaring into the future. The theme of this year's Spirit of the Lion show, again, it starts at 5:30. If you look at your screen, you will see all the details right there. Please look at your screen, because at the bottom of that screen, you will see where tickets are available. Tickets are also available at the school. So I want to encourage you. Children are encouraged to come as well, because I love your story, Ariel. The way you went, you saw, you said, I want to be a part. You transferred so that you could be a part of it indeed. And so what an inspiration you truly are as well. So well done. Good luck to all of you, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
My pleasure to be here, and I would like to impress on these four young people. It's a privilege. You are being watched by Barbados. Yes. This is Morning Barbados, and you're the stars. Congratulations for reaching this stage, and good luck going forward.
Amen to that. And so, with all of that said, I encourage you today, Barbados, to have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day indeed. Always remember to be good to yourself. No one else has the power to make you happy. And most of all, my crew joins me in saying to all of you, have a terrific today. Be it the will of the Lord, we will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning Barbados. Good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, morning Barbados. Good morning. Wake up.
There's somebody's phone. I'll take it. All right. Can we bring camera back here?
There is